Good evening, everyone. My name is Gulshan Memoria. I'm the CEO and founder of Inspiredvalley. We've started this initiative called the Inspiredvalley School Initiative, where we connect with the edu leaders across the country and to discuss some of the prominent topics. For our today's topic is addressing the impact of social media on students' behavior and mental health. To discuss this topic, we have some esteemed panelists with us. The very first speaker we have is Miss Jayashri Bhake. She is the principal at Orchids, the international school, which is situated in Mumbai. We've also with us Miss Sonia Gidla. She is the principal at Douglas Memorial Higher Secondary School, BARRACKPORE, Kolkata. We also have Miss Chandrakala Mishra, principal at Abhay International School, Mumbai. We also have Miss Savita Nehra. She is the principal at SSC Academy Senior Secondary School, Gurugram. We
Good
also
evening,
have
everyone.
Mr. Narender Kumar. He is the PGT Physics and NCERT counselor at Birla School, Pilani, Rajasthan. I welcome you all on our show.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Gulshan.
This topic is very close to my heart and which is the burning topic of today's world, right? So let me ask the very first question with Miss Sonia. Miss Sonia, as this social media has become an integral part of students' life, there is no doubt about it, right? So with many spending hours each day on scrolling through their feeds, which the students do normally, so how has this increased use of social media impacted the students' behavior and mental health in your school? And have you noticed any trends and patterns?
Okay. A very good evening to one and all who are present here, and my thankfulness to Mr. Gulshan and Inspiredvalley Initiatives for welcoming me today to speak on this very relevant and vital topic that is social media. And first of all, let me just tell you that social media in itself is a world that's very
Exactly.
engaging, entertaining, and exciting. So there are two sides to it. So I'll first talk about the pluses and then dive into the minuses which you're looking into. So social media as a platform has given many, has allowed many people to be expressive, to be more confident, and to be financially independent also. So right now, as I speak to you, there is a child in his house who's already got a YouTube account. And he has 1 million views on his channel, and that's getting converted into $1 million. So it has allowed a child to be himself or herself for his target audience. So this has given a lot of, chances to be vocal, to be expressive, and to create content that you want to create. Now, the minuses. Now, in this YouTube Shorts and Instagram Reels culture, what is happening is it has reduced our attention span. Just not children, as educators, even we feel that we are mindlessly sometimes just scrolling up and down our reels and seeing something that's not relevant to us. There are two sides to it again. Some content is really, really relevant, that engages us, that is fruitful, productive, and then there's another side, content that is absolutely nonsensical and rubbish. Now, children will be children. They don't know what is right from wrong because they are immature. Okay, they're still figuring things out. They're trying to know about themselves and their friends. It's a whole new world that is very exciting to them, very intriguing. And sometimes, unfortunately, they get distracted and diverted. And they're always high on dopamine because social media as a platform is giving them that feel-good factor. So day and night, they are consuming content. So social media has now become a ritual.
Exactly.
They get up in the morning, they're on their phones. In the middle of the day, they're scrolling up and down, either watching some video, watching a movie or a series, playing games, developing apps. Pura din wahan nikal ja raha. At night also, they're on their phones. So they do not know when to stop. So they are far removed from reality.
Exactly.
So they are very much, just a minute.
Sure.
Someone is calling. Yeah. So they're very much, attracted to that glossy, glamorous life that social media presents. And they kind of confuse that with the reality. So I feel the children right now need a reality check. That is one thing. And there is this docudrama that came out few years ago called The Social Dilemma, where few people who worked for different social media organizations came and told about how shallow and how threatening this social media can be for children, because everything that we do online is being tracked.
Exactly. This was the Netflix series, I believe you're talking about.
Yes,
Yes, I've seen that.
yes. So their whole agenda is to make it so addictive that they can profit out of these pure and innocent souls. Now, children don't know that they are being trapped, but they are. And another thing that I would like to mention: their entire life is online. There's nothing called privacy now. Where they are eating, what they are doing, they're wearing their school uniform, and they're clicking pictures, they're putting up on status. If they have something negative to say about school, they're saying that thing on social media. So as educators also, sometimes we feel helpless कि ये क्या हो रहा है? Why the children are becoming rebellious, not for good reasons, not for good reasons. I'll just give you an example. Am I taking too much of time?
It's okay. It's
So
okay. Absolutely
this
fine. Let
time
let me let
for
me take the views
yeah,
from Jayashri ma'am also. Then I'll come back to
yeah,
you. Yeah, Jayashri
yes.
ma'am, please wanted to add your point, please.
Good evening, everyone. And like Sonia started, she came up with a very valid point when she started with the positive aspects of social media as well. I would like to add on to what she was stating. When we plan out that it's going to be just a 5 minute peep that I'm going to have inside my, Insta account or something, what problem is, like, what troubles me and the others is the lingering effect of it.
Yeah.
So after every notification of the child, seeing that notification hardly takes a second or two. But then the lingering effect of it, the aftermath of it, is something which affects the child in his or her continuity into the academics or any other daily routine. So yes, that's what I wanted to add in here.
Wonderful. Naren sir, you've also raised your hand. You wanted to add your point, please.
Yes, sir. When we are talking about the social media, really it plays a very crucial role. As far as the student mental health is concerned, so it doesn't impact only the students, but we also in that frame, even from the last 2 3 years, we have seen a lot of impact on the physical or the mental health of the teachers also. So
Yes.
when we come to the specific area where the cognitive and psycho domain of the person are functioning, that has a crucial importance. What we see is the Sonia ma'am focused on the reel. What we see on the FB, what we are using on the LinkedIn platform, that is students use all these platform, and ultimately it's an artificial based intelligence software which take into the next step, and ultimately we are not restricted to that time. So how we understand this social media concept and the way the importance for the students, because it has a lot of learning, even new job opportunities, some of the students they are also getting from the same platform. So this is also very good. Secondly, the networking, where we lost some old friends also. When the students from the initial stage, they are connected with their classmates, their family, friends. So ultimately, I'm only discussing the positive aspect of the social media, where they give some prints on the brains. And let us we continue about this, how the new information, why, because they have a lot of data which shows a lot of things. Yes, sir.
Wonderful, wonderful. I mean, in the educational world, when you're talking about the students, there are many stakeholders, right? So we cannot negate the fact with the parents, because parents play a very important role in the student's life. This comes to the next question with I want to ask with Ms. Jayashri. As an educator, how do you balance the benefit of technology and social media with the potential risk? And what advice do you have for the parents and the students on responsible social media uses? Ma'am, you need to
Ma'am,
unmute yourself. You need to unmute yourself. No, I have not muted you.
thank you. Sorry, because it was stating that the host was
Okay,
muting.
yeah.
Sorry to have with this. Thank you for the question. It's quite relevant a question because today itself in Maharashtra, we have received a circular stating that tomorrow onwards the classes would be online or the school should not be functioning because of the heat wave. In such situation, where do we go? We have recently seen pandemic and how well the schools were geared up with the online classes. So the technology has always been a boon. And we have never seen that aspect of technology earlier. This was explored much more during the pandemic stage. Saying so, in our schools, other than the regular technology, because most of the schools have digi boards and all those things. So that is one technology aspect. But we go a step ahead. When we talk to the children, we make them bloggers. They write blogs in our school. They have quizzes on Mentimeters. They have break room sessions for themselves. And most importantly, they are able to connect to the world and are able to bring in data, which, for example, can sensitize them towards the world and its problems. So, for example, if I'm talking to them about the waste management in India as compared to that of, say, Indonesia or that of Nepal or any other neighboring country, they're able to come up with all those data and able to connect with it. Facebook has helped them out in reaching to many places. YouTube's have helped us out as teachers to reach out to many children with the most ideal things which we can present to them and reach out to those children who are not able to go to the schools or are not able to get that proper level of schooling or education in the interiors as well. So anywhere the student is, through technology, we were able to connect. Saying so, like with what Sonia ma'am and Narender sir were discussing about the negative impacts of the social media, we had to talk to the parents. The first and foremost is we conducted cybersecurity sessions for our children and for our parents, because at times parents, when they give away their mobile to the children to make Paytms at various places while purchasing groceries, they do not even realize that this child, while making those payments, are not seeing where they are doing it or if the password is being exposed or not. So the first and foremost thing which we did was to expose the parents, had a parental awareness session on cybersecurity. So did we have the children having the cybersecurity sessions. Other than this, we talked to them about, we cannot refrain them from using social media. Honestly speaking, we cannot force them for refraining. If you are forcing them, they will be more attracted towards it. The adolescence is a phase of negation, as we had in psychology when we talk about age 3 to 5 to be the phase of negation. Now, adolescence again has become a phase of negation. Where if you tell them not to do something, they will purposely do that. Why am I restrained to not go and see that?
Exactly.
I cannot restrain them, but I can surely tell them this, that what should be your work. You should have a diet plan for social media. Like you have a diet plan for yourself, you need to have a diet plan for social media. What we can do is to close out all our notification. Try doing this. Keep your notification closed. You need not check out the notification each time like a baby's diaper has to be checked. Sorry, I do not know whether, because that has to be checked every time a baby cries, that we feel that the diaper has to be checked. So every time the notification rings, the child loses his concentration on the academics and perceives it. So the
And
first
this
and foremost,
thing,
even for adults,
this thing is quite important. Even in recently, I mean, there's a town in Maharashtra. I'm sure that you are aware about it. There was a very big news. I mean, on the national television. In what they have done it from evening 6 to 7:30 or evening 6 to 8, they have closed all the usage of mobile phones. And they've asked people to have for the social gathering purposes. So say,
yes.
I mean, it's called the digital detox. I mean, I would rather say.
Absolutely. I was about to come to that point about the digital detox, which needs to have a proper substitute. See, we tell the children not to do this, but what to do in place of that is not being told to them.
Exactly.
So the third point which I was raising up was this, that we tell them what to do in place of not to do here. Because of the nuclear family, the children do not have people to interact. Both parents working, where do they have a catharsis? So they find a resort into the social media where they are so addicted towards the postage of the photographs, the likes, the social currency that we call. So they're getting addicted to the social currencies. And hence these, things have to be taken care of. But saying so, social media and technology is a boon as well. So we cannot be always thinking about it as bane. Anything in extremity has to be a bane.
It has to be
It has
balancing
to have-
between the pros and cons and with the proper
Absolutely.
understanding why the cons we are telling you.
Absolutely. The same knife is being used to cook. The same knife is being used by a surgeon to make the surgery. The same knife is being used by a murderer to kill. So it
Perfect
depends
analogy.
upon what you use it and how long you use it. Thank you. I hope
Thank you,
I'm
Jayashri
able
ma'am.
to answer that
Yeah,
question.
over to Savita ma'am. You've raised your hand, please, at your point.
Because one much more important point I want to add here
Please,
upon.
ma'am.
So the main thing is the all the physical activities that has been replaced by the social media.
Hmm.
Nowadays, what is happening? Which time should be utilized by their physical activities of the games?
Hmm.
And nowadays, what is happening that the no student want to go outside and want to play because instead of that particular game, they want to do the social post at that time. They want to either the busy in Instagram or checking the reels or the YouTube shorts. So what we will have to give, like the school timetable, we need to manage the timetable of our own ward or as well as the school children. We need to tell the student like the school timetable you are having the different lecture at the different time period. So in the same way they will some particular time should be allotted to the social media and rest of the time should be given to the some physical activities so it will be balanced. So this
Exactly.
point I want to
Proper
add here.
balance. Yeah, agreed.
Wonderful, wonderful. I mean, in that case, I just wanted to add one more point. I mean, we have to indulge. If we are making a timetable for the students outside the school hours, we have to indulge the actively with the parents also, because it
Yeah,
has to be managed by the
because
parents.
yes, maximum time what is happening if we are the four members in the family. So sometimes it happens. If monotonous routine has been found, every four person they are differently sitting in the separate rooms and everyone is busy in their own mobiles. Even though you can say the family talk has been also replaced by the social media. So this is the you can say the very drastic
The harsh
problem and we
reality
need to
of the
work on.
current
Yeah.
families right now. It's everybody's
Yeah.
home. Yeah, Miss
Because
Sonia.
even our emotional bonding that also has been replaced by the social media. We don't want to talk to each other. Instead, we want to post on the social media. So that is also the very you can say the dangerous alarm. So we need to check on upon it also.
Wonderful. Thank you, Savita ma'am. Yeah, over to you, Miss Sonia. Please.
Yes, I would just add to what Sejal ma'am said. Ma'am, your
Sorry,
name is Sejal
Jayashri.
only.
Jayashri ma'am.
Jayashri ma'am, sorry.
It's both, ma'am. It's actually both.
Yeah, so sorry. So Jayashri ma'am was saying that how to balance your life and how can parents come into action over here. So I was just reading up on this interview where this mother said that I set up a play date for my children. So two girls, they were in the house and constantly they were on the phones. So the mother finally she came and she interrupted them saying that see, I'm taking away your phones, now you go and play outside. They played for only 10 minutes and then they came back to the mother saying that we want to do something with you. And what is that? We want to play with your face. We want to do makeup and hair. So now the mother is telling, no, 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 go. I have my own work. Because she's also working from home. So now what she was trying to say is that if you're telling your children not to play with phones, then you need to make yourself available. So you cannot have the best of both worlds where you're telling your children, you're instructing them to not use the phone, and then you are not available. You can't get both. So
Same
somewhere
way.
I think parents need to be with their children and make something happen so that they are more interested in their lives also. So this gap that is there between children and parent will also be bridged. जो अभी दिख रहा है, there is no communication between a
This
parent and
reminds me of a perfect example. Recently, I've been to Sangam Neer, this Podar International School, Sangam Neer,
Okay.
which is near to Nasik. So I was there for the conducting a teachers training program on Know Your Learners. तो वहाँ पर एक हिंदी के टीचर थे, उन्होंने एक बहुत अच्छा एग्जाम्पल दिया कि बच्चे वो नहीं करते जो चीज़ हम बोलते हैं, बच्चे वो करते हैं जो चीज़ वो
करते हैं।
देखते हैं और जो
देख-
हाँ एग्जैक्टली बहुत अच्छा लगा, बहुत सिंपल लगा कि आप बोलते रहिए उनको कि फ़ोन मत चलाइए, जब आप खुद फ़ोन चला रहे हैं तो यू कैन नॉट आस्क देम राइट इफ़ यू आर expecting them to read a book, so you have to read a book, take a book and reading the book. It's a perfect thing.
Just
Yeah.
talk your talk that you wanted to state. But to just add on to
Please.
what Sonia was saying, why children take up to social media is basically of the FOMO. I hope everybody of us we are aware about
Fear
the
of
terminology
missing out.
FOMO.
yeah.
So they are wanting to be at par with everyone. They want everybody to have their presence felt. And this FOMO is something which, even like she stated, they are going to play for 10 minutes. In that 10 minutes also, look, playing on the garden. That is important.
You gave me this example ना FOMO, मतलब it took me almost 2 years just to understand how to make a reel, and फॉर दिस थिंग कि फिल्मों के होते हुए कि मुझे लगा कि यार सीखना ही पड़ेगा, एंड देन आई हैड टू लर्न द फोमो थिंग कि हाँ यार अब रील बनाना सीखना ही पड़ेगा. सो दिस थिंग इज वेरी प्रेवलेंट इन current understanding.
Yes, yes.
Yeah, Miss
So
Chandrakala, you
social
wanted to add
currency
your
is
point,
important.
please.
Actually, we are talking about what are the impact of social media, and we are continuously using one term. We are doing this, we are doing that. So where are we exactly? Why to
Please.
blame kids only?
We are
We are
not
doing the
blaming.
same.
No one is blaming the kids.
No, it's me also. It's me also.
Yeah,
Yes,
Even
we
in
need to
my
own it as
even
well.
in my home also, we four are in four corners.
yeah.
When we need to eat together, come on, have a food together. Otherwise, we four people, my kids, my husband, we are in four corners in our own world. So where are we here exactly when we talk about, when we say parents, when we say teachers, when we say society? See, children are like monkeys. They act. What they see, they believe. And first of all, students, they are very shy, introvert. They want to have a validation from others. Yes, I'm doing good, I'm looking good. They have fear that how they will look. They have their physical needs, mental needs, and somewhere they
Exactly.
find the student, maybe children of their age, maybe a predator behaving like a their age person and talking to them openly about their problems, about their issues. They are over pressure for 99%. So what they want someone to talk about their personal issues. So they search for that kind of thing. So if we can provide them with the right umbrella, why they will go out? So it is not only parent, it is about teachers also, it is about society. If the child is going wrong, we have to watch this. If a
Exactly.
parent messages me, ma'am, I saw your children in this garden doing this or that wrong activity, it is my duty also to check. I cannot say, oh, my school hours are done, so I am not responsible. We all are, one way or other way. So definitely, technology will never go, but how to balance it is very important here.
Okay, let me ask, this is an open question for everyone because currently we are discussing the negative impacts of the social media usage. It's a very interesting question. So there's a growing concern among parents and educators about the negative impact of social media on young minds, mental health, including the increased anxiety, depression, and the feeling of loneliness, especially. So how do you address these concerns in your school? Anyone? I mean, I would love to have few suggestions from everyone. First, I'll go to Miss Jayashri.
Thank you, Richard. Before we answer this particular question, there are certain things which we need to understand as a family, continuing with what
Please.
Chandrakala ma'am stated. What we see or what we think during we eat, the same thing actually is internalized. Similarly, before sleeping, if we are seeing social media, it impacts our peaceful sleep. If we have social media in front of us, or for that matter, television or any other thing which is distracting us from focusing from our meals, is not going to connect to our health. These are some smaller things, but we as family need to take care on to this. Now, when you're talking about being the negative impact of social media into the mindset of the children, first and foremost, it is the value which is being created at home and at school.
Yeah.
The value level, if it is being maintained or it is imbibed into the children that way, nobody in this world can make them lose that confidence or have a FOMO.
Wonderful.
If you tell your child that, yes, I am there for you, and for me, you are the best, the way you are, we accept the child as is, where is he is. Because every child is unique. So there's no point in comparison.
Exactly.
Why is the child hunting for a different identity outside? Why is he creating an avatar outside? That avatar is coming only because he's not finding that identity here, the acceptance here. The problem is when the children are children, we accept them as children. But the major problem arises in adolescence because therein they are already having a lot of confusion within them. The physical, emotional, every confusion going on. And on top of that, the parent is expecting them at times to be a child or at times to be an adult. Tum bade ho gaye ho, and at some time they say, tum abhi chote ho, ruk jao. So they're already getting confused. Where is their identity? And hence the social media, and hence the avatar, and all these things coming up. The first and foremost thing which we need to do
The family
as
values.
teachers and as parents, because at as teachers, we are the poster parents of the children.
Exactly.
Let us accept our children the way they are, and let us appreciate their uniqueness and celebrate their uniqueness. I think that itself would be underlying statement that you exist for us, you are important for us. They will never go in for all these fake social media currencies like I said.
Perfectly
Thank
summarized. Thank you, Jayashri ma'am. Yeah, over to you, Miss Sonia. Please add your
Yeah,
point.
I'll just give you one example. So something happened in our school where I had to confiscate the child's phone for some indiscipline. You wouldn't believe that phone was like a drug to that child. His school finished at 2 o'clock. He waited for me till 6 o'clock. To an extent that the parent had to come to me, write a letter and requesting, literally begging कि मैम phone दे दीजिए. I said phone में ऐसा क्या है? What is there? मैम बहुत सारे documents हैं which I know is not the truth. What documents that the child has in his phone that is so important? All important documents are to be kept with the parents. So I feel somewhere parents have become very helpless. और जब मैं parents से बात करती हूँ in my office, I feel children have an upper hand. They are dominating their parents. So जैसे मैंने पहले बोला, that communication gap है, where somewhere we cannot just blame the child. The parent is not there for the child. That's why the child is trying to fill that void through social media or by going out with friends, which is all okay. So the solution here is we do give that one-on-one counseling session through which we understand. The counselor comes and tells me, ma'am, the child is very, very isolated at home. It's just not the parent who feels helpless, the child is also helpless. और क्योंकि बातचीत नहीं हो रहा, somewhere maybe they're just so into fighting, into arguing, that a solution निकल नहीं पा रहा है. So whenever the parent is coming, parent does not know anything about the child is not being able to understand the parent. So sessions, therapists, counselors, ये लोग सब हैं, but ultimately I feel teachers, educators will not be able to do everything if the parents don't support. So family environment is very, very important, and quality time with kids is very important, just not in their foundation years till they are there with you.
Wonderful,
till
wonderful.
you marry them off. उसके बाद भी रहेगा responsibility.
नहीं, जयश्री मैम ने वंडरफुली समराइज किया. मैन आई टोटली अग्री विद दिस पॉइंट. दिस नो कंपैरिजन. अगर फैमिली के अंदर बॉन्डिंग अच्छा नहीं है, फैमिली का वैल्यू स्ट्रांग नहीं है, फैमिली के अंदर रिलेशनशिप स्ट्रांग नहीं है, देन द स्टूडेंट विल डेफिनेटली लुक टू क्रिएट एन अदर आइडेंटिटी ओवर द सोशल मीडिया एंड दिस लुकिंग फॉर दी अदर पर्पजेज कि यहाँ वहाँ से फिर अच्छा मिलेगा या कुछ और चीज़ें होगा. चंद्रकला मैम,
they are getting heard there. They are able to voice their opinion there.
Exactly.
Parents, we are not listening to them. In school, we say, sit down, this is a class, do not interrupt. At home, tum chote ho, baith jao. So they need to have a voice, and that voice is being heard in the social.
Yes.
So I've seen a lot of people on social media, those have very good, you can say, connection with their kids when they are taking outside, experiencing life, going on the treks. Not everything is on social media, right? Chandrakala ma'am, please add your point. You want to, please?
Actually, they are covering most of our points, but again, here I would like to add, as the family values are very important. And nowadays, I find parents in fix. When they come and meet me, they cry. मैम नहीं सुनता है, मैम नहीं सुनते हैं, और ज्यादा कुछ बोलने पे they tell us कि सुसाइड कर लूंगा. Very, very recently, one of the student and parent came for open house, and when they saw the paper, they just asked the child, marks कम क्यों आए हैं? Believe me, the child went out and parents came running to me after 2 hours. मैम बच्चा घर पे नहीं पहुंचा है. And we were searching the child for 4 hours, and in the evening he came back. He said मैं garden में बैठा. And you understand the condition of parent. Actually, this generation parent, they are in fix because they respected their parents, but their children are not respecting them. They have to respect their children, their demands, their all the supplies, and their happiness also. And happiness in the form of things. We never expected a chocolate from our parent, but nowadays kids expect daily gift from their parents, proper attention, always available, and don't disturb when I am not in mood. Sometimes my daughter tell me, Mama, zip. I said, what is this? She said, Mama, it's my child. So believe me, she's 21, she's not young, she's doctor. But again, I said, don't tell me to zip myself. I will not. And I will
like
not.
What Mr. Gulshan was telling, the imitators.
Yeah.
We were also saying.
She says you dominate at your school because you're principal there. Don't talk, don't disturb me because I am on my some
See the
program I'm watching in our.
millennial in the millennium, this called the millennial challenges, right? And now
Yes,
though we have the
yes,
Gen Z, the Gen Z have their own challenges, they have their own world. So we have to
yes,
understand a lot of things. I mean, if we want to solve their challenges or their problems, तो उनको लगता है कि हम समझते ही नहीं हैं, बट ऐसा नहीं है. उनको लगता है कि उनके जो छोटे छोटे प्रॉब्लम्स हैं वो बहुत बड़े हैं. They're very small problems. I mean, at our time, we used to come into the relationships in the high school or in colleges. I mean, currently, yes, it was very hard for us. Like, and now, though, in sixth standard also in seventh standard, so they have their own issues, right? जो issues 12th में होने चाहिए थे वो issues 7th में आ गए हैं, relationship issues. So how are you going to solve these issues at the very tender age 12? And now they are checking the post on social media, they're uploading all the heartbreaking messages on social media. So this
And there is an extreme set of a different parent, like Chandrakala ma'am talked about one set of parents, and there's another set of helicopter parents, always hovering on the top of their child, and they are knowing about the heartbreaks and they're cool with it. They're
yes.
actually cool with it. Having a sixth standard bond, having a girlfriend or a boyfriend is super cool for them.
One more thing to add.
Yeah, please,
Like
Miss Sonia.
Gulshan sir, you said that वो heartbreaking messages वो इतना intense हो जाता है. Like I'll tell you, we release. I mean, every school does. We release an annual magazine. So उसमें few poems we get ना. First we check what are the poems that we can include in the magazine. You cannot imagine how dark they can get with their poetry, with their art, with their short stories. And then I call those children, what is happening? You haven't even seen life. You haven't even had a kid. You're not married. You're not working anywhere. How can you feel so intense about such things? You've seen nothing. So yeah, I feel they kind of romanticize. They kind of over glorify their emotions. ये चल रहा है. This is trending.
When you said no that you have not seen live, so I have seen. I mean, 3 or 4 days before I was just scrolling the LinkedIn. I have seen a person who is just 20 years of age has mentioned as a life coach. So मैं बोल रहा कि यार पहले life जी तो लो.
Life coach. Wow.
Yeah, Narendra sir, I want to come back to you. I mean, being the counselor, I believe that you can give me a better solution for this question. So, in some cases, the students may use social media to discuss sensitive topics and seek support for their mental health issues. So, how do you handle these situations and ensures that students receive the appropriate resources and support? I'm sure that being the NCERT counselor will give us more insights about it.
Definitely, sir, ma'am. Continuously, we are getting this type of the issues. Specifically, one important term that is the awareness program in the schools. Continuously, even from last year, we have created one digital nets that citizenship club where the
Okay.
students itself they sit together, they discuss their issues. Even we call the trainers and what are the ethics for the online and the offline, how they are enter into the social media, where for the parents where we have to restrict the child because it's not a one person or one place efforts. No, it's just like a subject. It's they are having no boundaries. So we have to set some rules because students are not realistic on their goals even when they see the matches, they see the picture, they see the hero and heroine and all, they are mostly influenced by them and ultimately they deviate from their actual path which is required at that time. So by taking the parents and the students into the confidence which the Chandrakala ma'am has focused, that is the effective parenting. So here the role of the parents plays a very vital because when we ask the parents, so what the ma'am Sejal was discussing कि वो सुनता नहीं है, बात नहीं करता है. Definitely on day-to-day basis we also facing the same issues, but at least for some sessions, some interactions with some remedies, even when we check on the their social media that platform or the application which they are using. So sometimes on the one parallel, even we have seen on the one side the online classes are going on the other side the some other platform is going on. So that is a very serious issue. So as a parent, we also a parent, and we have to set the boundaries. And definitely, as a parent or as a teacher, we have to focus on the activities which is going on the students' end, because there is a lot of exposure, lot of things are available. But as a counselor or as a teacher or as a head of the institution, it plays a we cannot restrict the students to not to use the mobile phone because or not to go to the social media, but how to use this social media as a creative tool, because there are a lot of educational platforms, there is online classes, we have seen a lot of knowledge the students are getting from this particular platform, but we have to restrict all these boundaries as a you have focused on the digital detox. Even few times back, we have conducted this online session with the students also. Even we also get some response from the parents. So definitely for promoting the mental health and the well-being of the students, this is a very, very prime concern that in the different schools with the experts, with the professionals, we organize some of the sessions where the awareness not only in the even data shows the teacher or the faculty, those in the last stage of their services, they are not very much familiar with the technology. So how to integrate that into the classroom, because NEP, NCF focus a lot of things how the lesson plan is going on. So I came to the another side of this one, but that is all interconnected, and we all as a at the topmost position, so we have to think this very critically that how to make the system foolproof so that the technology can be better used by the students and the parents.
Wonderful. Let me give you one example of my recent interaction with one of the founder. I mean, as a company, Inspired Valley, we are ventured into different areas. So recently, we've started a new platform called the Inspired Valley podcast. Please listen it out. It's available on all the major platform.
Yes, I have seen
Yes.
it.
So we have you can say we invited a lot of Shark Tank India founders, those who have secured the deal on Shark Tank, and we have managed to record almost 25 episode till now, and we've also lined up like 10 episodes. So on 19th episode, there was a founder called Shreyan Daga, right? And he started his company. He's from Mumbai only. He's a very young chap, only 18 or 17 to 18 years of age, and he has just completed his 10th standard. Please listen it out very carefully. I mean, maybe because I interacted with him on my podcast, so I tried to understand what was the psyche behind it. Because 10वीं किया है, 12वीं भी नहीं किया है, and he's running an edtech company and is focusing on impacting the life of the billion people, right? तो मैंने उससे बात की, या चंद्रकला मैम, you want to add your point? Let me complete.
Finish.
प्लीज़. तो मैं उससे बात कर रहा था बड़ा इंटरेस्टिंगली. तो उन्होंने कहा कि मैंने 10th मैंने पढ़ाई करी और मुझे समझ में आ गया कि जो अभी की एजुकेशन है ना, वो करंट चैलेंजेस को पूरा ही नहीं कर रही है. जो करंट वर्ल्ड जो गैप है उसको नहीं पूरा कर रही है. मैंने अपने फादर से डिस्कशन किया. फादर से डिस्कशन करने के बाद में मुझे लगा कि यार मुझे इंटरेस्ट नहीं है इस चीज़ में, मुझे कुछ और लाइफ को इम्पैक्ट करना है, एंड दैट्स आई वांटेड टू स्टार्ट एन टेक फर्म. एंड माय फादर वाज द फर्स्ट इन्वेस्टर इन माय कंपनी. He gave me 2 lakh rupees to start this company, and currently he is earning in crores, something like that. मतलब जो वैल्यूएशन है, शार्क टैंक इंडिया से भी फंडिंग मिल गई है. तो मैंने उसको पूछा कि भाई, आर यू इनडायरेक्टली सजेस्टिंग पीपल टू ऑप्ट आउट फ्रॉम द स्कूल एंड स्टार्ट देयर ओन वेंचर्स? कह रहा, आई एम नॉट सेइंग दिस थिंग, इट्स अप टू यू, बट यू नीड टू हैव दैट क्लैरिटी इन योर माइंड. When Miss Sonia has mentioned the financial freedom, with this social media has given us the financial freedom. With 1 million views, you can easily earn in dollars or $1,000 or $2,000. But again, in order to do that, you need to have that clarity. There might be n number of people who are uploading, I mean, senseless videos on social media, but that is their purpose. I'm not asking, I mean, if you have that purpose and if you have made your parents in that particular कि हाँ यार आपके पेरेंट्स भी agree कर रहे हैं, everyone is agreeing that thing and you are happy doing that thing, so you should do this. Again, if I'll take the other example, I always give this example in my career guidance sessions. If you talk about the NEET is an examination in order to get into the MBBS degree, right? Last year, approximately 18 to 20 lakh people gave the NEET examination. I'm sure being the educator, you are all aware about it, right? You also give advices to a lot of people, all the students. Do you know how many seats are available in government and semi-government institutions? Because from a private entity, it's very hard to pursue from a normal, even for an upper middle class family. The cost somewhere around 80 lakh to 1.5, 1 crore के आसपास का cost है. So there are approximately only 60 to 70,000 seats available across India. This is, I'm taking the higher side. But nobody wants to go some XYZ. institute. Everybody wants to get into the AIMS. Only 7 AIMS in our country, only 700 seats are available. So let's take the example कि वहाँ पर भी chances are very less. So if you are feeling that okay, I want to be an online influencer and I can make wonders, and your parents are agreeing for this thing, you can do this. So this vision and the clarity should be clear. Yeah, over to you, Chandrakala ma'am. Thank you so much for listening to me, guys, very patiently.
Gulshan, I just wanted to add that I know the family personally. I have met his mother personally, and she is same N2 woman like the boy is. So it comes from family.
Exactly.
Mother
Exactly.
is equally enthusiastic. She will meet us in all the principal meet, and she will be very, very passionate about her profession, which we are talking about. So it depends how you give culture at home. When we talk about business at home, when we support our kids, to be very frank, I will give my own example. My son, he has completed BHMS medicine, and now he's telling me, Mama, I think I will not practice. I said, do whatever you want, but be happy. Have a career. Believe me, if at all I'm going to force my child that you have to do this and do that, he will become like a potato to adjust everywhere. The same thing happening with parents also. We have to see that how much we are balancing, and we have to trust our kid, which is very
The
important.
parents are not aware about the benefits of social media, I believe. I mean, being an educator or being an entrepreneur or being the principal, if we will able to pass the message correctly, that would be a right thing. Because there are many people who, being an influencer, they're earning in lakhs, like on monthly basis. So there's no point of doing the 9 to 5 job or 9 to 6 job. So if there is an option available and you are worth it, then why not? There are many educators, those, for an example, physics wala. In this lockdown, he just started one YouTube channel, and currently everyone knows it, right? He's not even completed his degree. So we are not asking anyone to not to complete their degree, but again, look at the positive side of it. If you have the skill, your options are available.
But there's also an MBA chai wala जो पूरा flop हो गया, by the way. He became a biggest scamster now. नहीं, मैं बोल रही हूँ, अभी एक ट्रेंड चल रहा है कि people are bashing school कि स्कूल में education नहीं होता है, it's not upgraded, people need to move out of school, move out of colleges, college is a waste of time, online courses कर लो, follow your passion, follow your dream. All good, but not all children can do that.
Exactly. That's
And we are
why
not-
I asked
Schools are not for
Shreyan.
the high IQ children. We are there for everybody. तो ये जो ट्रेंड चल रहा है ना कि स्कूल में कुछ होता नहीं है, स्कूल इज बोल रहे हैं ऐसे एक्चुअली बिग पीपल, शार्क टैंक भी बोल रहे हैं, अश्नीर ग्रोवर भी बोल रहे हैं, सब बोल रहे हैं, लेकिन we need to understand
नहीं
कि
हो
बच्चा
पाएगा
पहले
मैम. I totally agree with you when people say that okay, home schooling is better than the schools कभी भी एक second option नहीं बन पाएगा. School is always be the first option. You have to send your child to the school, because there are many things which he or she will learn in the school setup cannot be learned in the isolation, cannot be take place. Yeah, Jayashri ma'am, you want to add your point, please?
Sorry, probably they have not understood the difference between literacy and education.
right.
So what we give at school is education, where we are talking about the holistic development of the child. The social skills, the emotional skills, what the parents cannot do, we are doing it at school. मेरा बच्चा सुनता नहीं है, आप बोलो, आपका कहना सुनता है. बच्चा किसका है? हमारी बात सुनता है. So how can they state that the school is not doing anything?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Please understand, you can be literate by reading a book or by seeing the videos of anybody, Khan Academy or anyone. But actual education is given at school. So I feel that they need to understand the difference between education and literacy. Thank you.
This also reminds me one of the example. Recently, we have done one career guidance session in Nevi Children's School, Goa. So I'm sure that you have seen that school. So in that school, we have done this program for the 9 to 12 standard students, and there was a wonderful session. After the program, one student asked me, send me a message on LinkedIn, and said, "Sir, I have one doubt." I said, "Beta, please ask me that doubt." Okay, sir, I'm thinking to pursue this 11th and 12th from a dummy school, which Akash is providing, and focus on IIT completely. Is that a good option for me or not? So, Mega, please give me some time. Let me frame the answer. I cannot give you the answer without any understanding. Mega, there are two things. Like, if you really want to become an IIT and if you don't want to experience life, right? So then you can go to the dummy school. But if you want to experience life at the same time, your aspirations are high, then you can still become an IITian by going to school also. So there are many things which is society is prevalent. They are, they're asking students not to go for the schools and focus on this all the examinations. So again, there are many things which are going on.
Yes. Akash does that. They
There are many
discourage
things. There are many people, many people who does that. Let me ask. I believe. Okay, one more question I have with Mr. Chandrakala. So students are from different backgrounds and cultures, which may have different experiences with social media and its effect on their behavior and mental health. So how do you take care of it? Do you experience such kind of behavior? Yeah.
That is beauty of school. Yeah. It is not a family, but it is a family. When we talk about student from different culture, different background, that is the beautiful beauty of school. They come in one uniform. They share the common table, common room, and common teachers. They are not king there. They are not queen there. They don't have their own sofas there, own laptops there. They have to study in a common circumstances. Here, when we are talking about social media, first of all, I think before training the student, we have to train parent, teachers, and school itself. Because the child is quite young. He or she is not aware what he or she is doing. So yes, first of all, we were talking about ideal behavior of a parent. Nowadays, parents are confused. They themselves are so engrossed in social media that if you see, if the child is dancing in annual day, believe me, I have to announce kindly don't make video, don't click photograph, I will share immediately. But I can see all are holding the camera in spite of watching your child perform live. Where are we? Even we as an educator, what we do, a small activity is going in the classroom, click the photograph, you have to send it to the parent. Where are we? Where are we going actually? So yeah, training the parent is very important. Parent must be alert, aware, well connected with the current social medias. मला माहित नाही काय वापरता है, मुझे पता नहीं, मेरा बच्चा कुछ तो करता है फिर डिलीट कर देता है. Why to become zero? Become hero. Now sit with your child, learn the social media. And one thing I tell my parents, never snatch mobile from your child's hand, because we have given this mobile to them in the pandemic. Yes, have a me time, fix the time, 1 hour. If you're watching, watch whatever you want to watch, have an eye, and then once it is done, better now it is normal time. You cannot be bored always. You can help in the home. You can do a lot of things. You can manage your cupboard. You can help me in kitchen. You can help me in my house chores. You can watch all Saas Bahu serial with me. That's perfectly fine. In spite of watching that series and all, believe me, it will really help. It will really help. And then we always talk about social media as a disease. And because of that, the mental health of the children are going haywire. Believe me, girls come to me and they say, ma'am, we hate our body. I said, why? Because you are not looking like Alia Bhatt. Because they want to become like that. They want to look like that. One girl was continuously falling sick. When I came to know, she said hemoglobin level is going down because she is not eating. Because one of the auntie told her that you are very fat. I said, but what will happen if you're fat or if you're small or if you're big, if you're heighted? Nothing will happen. You're unique. So, Sandhya, what is happening? Children are getting affected by smaller points because other people is also commenting them. When I will become your friend, maybe I'm 50-year-old man, but I'm becoming your friend. I'm praising you. So what will happen? I will submit myself to you. I will share all my information with you. And that is why the first session when the school opens, I take with my student, know myself. They should know themselves. They should love their body, and family is very important.
Wonderful.
I tell them your friends will change throughout your life. But again, parents will not change. Whether you like it, whether you don't like it, you cannot change your parent, and your parent cannot change you. So love your parent, respect them, listen to them. And
we should also write a mail to Instagram or other social media application to reduce their filters.
Yeah.
Actually, we have to ban them at a certain level. The kind of crap they are selling there, it is really, really, sometimes that Nibba Nibbis are sharing all kinds of videos.
Let's not get into this.
And that is very true.
Yeah,
and
so
then,
please.
Teachers should be empathetic. teachers should be not having biased opinion, and teachers should not be harsh. Today I took a staff meeting. I told them, don't be harsh while speaking. Students get hurt because they want to find love in one form or the other form. Don't judge student on the basis of marks. They are not 99%. They are unique. So if they're getting 33, they will survive in the life. If they will get 99, they will survive in the life. It's purely how they shape their future. Very important. School should run awareness program. School should be engaging in students' lives through activity. Then I run SUPW activity. I do dignity of labor activity where students make some product and sell in the school. Their paintings, their rakhi, their pottery, we sell in the school to their parents. They only sell, they only collect the amount, and then we make DD and send to PM fund, to other funds.
This
So
is
one
wonderful.
day one child brought cake in the school and said, I want to celebrate my teacher's birthday. So I said, have you earned that money? So he said, नहीं मम्मा ने दिया. So I called my peon. I said, ये जो यहाँ पर नियर बाय में जो बच्चों का अनाथ आश्रम है ना, आप वहाँ पर जाकर एक केक डोनेट करके आ जाओ. And I told my child, once you will earn the money, bring the cake for your teacher. You cannot spend your parents' money like this. So we have to be strict. हम डरते हैं बच्चे भाग जाएंगे, बच्चे सुसाइड कर लेंगे, वो वही कर रहे हैं रोज. वो हमको डरा डरा के वही कर रहे हैं. वो खुद को भी मेंटली वीक बना रहे हैं, हमें भी मेंटली वीक बना रहे हैं. We have to be very firm on your opinion. I tell my parents, when you say no, be firm. Be firm. When you want to give good things to them, give them. Spoil them with all the beautiful dresses and all. But when we are firm, be very firm. And lot of social duties we have to make them aware. Not spitting on the road, vehicular movement. When parents make crowd at the school, I tell them to manage the crowd. Go outside and manage the crowd.
That's one. Let me come back to the last section of our webinar, and then I'll take the, you can say, views from you as well. You want to add your point, Savita ma'am? Please, very hurriedly. Hurry, yeah. Ma'am, you need to unmute yourself.
Yeah, sorry.
Yeah, please.
So whenever we are talking regarding the negative impact of the social media, generally we are talking regarding the mental health. But during the pandemic time, we have observed it. Not only mental health, it also affects our eyes or the physical health. Because the lot of the problems have been, we have seen that the students, either their hand movements are not, they are not able to move the hand after the long hours of the mobile phone. And not only the students only, the human beings, whosoever is using, whether they are the adult one, they are also suffering a lot of the physical problems. So generally we forget this point to add. So I want to add up this point also. We will have to take care of the physical health as well as the mental health. We will have to tell to the students limited time
देखना चाहिए. So you have to limit the time.
Yeah,
I mean, in order to, yes.
If your working hours, you can say that the school hours is fixed. Your sports hour is fixed. So your social media time, if it will be also fixed, then no problem will be there. Because everything should be given in the proper time limit.
Wonderful. Thank you so much, Savita ma'am.
Potato and GBS syndrome has become very common in children also.
Which one, ma'am? Which syndrome?
The GBS syndrome, the Gullinsbury syndrome, which is a neurological disease, which generally happens with those people who are continuously sitting at a particular posture. So this is again happening with students, and the pouch potatoes, which they have now become, sitting on the couch and becoming all
addicted to their mobile phones, just scrolling the media endlessly.
Again, physical issues which they should.
Okay, let us move to the last section of our webinar, and we call it this rapid fire round. So in rapid fire round, I want two suggestions from your side. One is a positive one is a negative one. Negative one could be so that they can use it, or they can refrain themselves moving into it, right? So addressing the impact of social media. So one positive impact on the student's behavior or student's life, what would that be? If they will going to use the social media, what would be the positive impact and what would be the negative impact? Have you understood the question, everyone? Yes. So I'm giving you 10 seconds to think of it. Then again, I'll come back to one by one. I'll start with Miss Sonia, then Miss Savita, Miss Chandrakala, Miss Jayashri, and then Narender sir. Would that be fine? So do not go in length. We already had, we're about to hit 6. So do not go in length. Just give me the suggestion. One positive impact, one negative impact. That's it. I'll start with Miss Sonia. Yes.
Yeah, positive, like I've already said at the beginning of my interaction, that it allows you to be expressive, it allows you to be creative, very confident, and sometimes children, they cannot express in a classroom that well, or maybe outside, but in front of camera they're excellent. Maybe
Exactly.
sitting in your room and facing a camera with the lights on, they're excellent. So I think this has a lot of opportunities. And negatives would be, I think it is no less than a drug. As
One.
we
Okay.
say, as we say, cocaine is a drug, sugar is a drug. I think phone is also a drug, just not for children, even for educators, for parents. I think
For
we are all,
everyone. So you need to
yes,
understand that it is a drug and we need to
yeah.
restrict our
So
usage. Yes.
limited use of it.
वंडरफुल. सविता मैम, एक बेनिफिट और एक नेगेटिव चीज़. You need to unmute yourself, ma'am.
Social media, it helps students to connect with the like-minded persons
Networking.
and like-minded person, and is easy to learn from the videos, and after the creativity, it also increases the creativity. And if I will talk regarding the negative points, so somewhere it is distracting the student if it is misused. And somewhere, if we will reduce the time, we can say time bounded. We will have to make the social media time bounded so
Wonderful.
that the student will use it properly.
Wonderful.
Thanks.
Let me give one example which is relevant, and maybe if the students or the teachers will listen to this webinar, they'll get some understanding. So I know a person, he's just 16 or 15 years of age. He's on LinkedIn, Mr. Abhir Bhalla. Yeah, Abhir Bhalla is the name of that fellow. लॉकडाउन में उसने कुछ लिंक्डइन के ऊपर स्टार्ट किया क्लाइमेट चेंज के बारे में बात करना, एंड उसने और उसके बारे में बहुत डिटेल में चला गया और बहुत सारे आर्टिकल्स लिखना स्टार्ट कर दिया. And because of this you can say activist, because he's a climate change activist, because of this reason and because of this writing, his move, you can say, he's gone to, he represented India at UN also, he represented India at different summits at different location. So LinkedIn, yes. So if you use social media for the right purpose, for the right understanding, so you can become, आपको बहुत help मिल सकता है अपने career को setup करने के लिए भी. Yes, over to you, Miss Chandrakala. Please, one positive, one negative.
Sea of knowledge. They can learn anything under the sun, but again, balancing is required. What they are learning, what they are watching, balancing is required, which is not possible by them. So your parent, guardian, school can play a very vital role.
So they have to be very vocal about it. If they are facing some issues or if they are facing anything, they can discuss with their teachers or their parents. So the teachers has to jump in and make some good relations with their students. Wonderful. Miss Jayashri?
So there are many good things which we have been discussing, but it also sensitizes you towards the global issues. So it's made a global village. So, we have all been connected together because of the social media. This is one of the boon which would help them in the longer run for making them a future global citizen. So keeping that in mind, that is of course one positivity. But when we talk about the negative aspect, we have been churning out a lot of negatives about the social media more than the boon. But one mostly importantly, if in case the child can understand that the social media is a facade, what we are is true. The difference between the truth and the mirror image. If the child is able to understand, we will be able to cross all the points.
Wonderful. Wonderful. Thank you, ma'am. Yeah, Narendra sir.
Yes, sir. Very thoughtful discussion was going on. एक छोटा सा इंसिडेंस मैं शेयर करता हूँ. एक बच्चा बार I will not quote the name. What's your name? So वो बोलता है मेरा नाम जो है डोडू है.
डोडो
राम ऐसे बोलता है हर बार है डोडू राम ऐसे. तो लोगों ने पूछा बिठा के ऐसा नाम तो सुना ही नहीं, अजीब सा नाम सुनाई दे रहा है आपका. डोडू क्या है? नाम तो पेपर में तो आपके 10th के सर्टिफिकेट में कुछ और लिखा है. तो बोलता सर जब घर पे जाता था तो माँ कहती थी ये मत करो, डोंट डू. जब स्कूल आते थे टीचर कहते थे डोंट डू. तो मैंने सोचा डोडू सही रहता है, तो डोडू राम मेरा नाम क्या है.
ये एग्जांपल सब लोग यूज करने वाले हैं. आई एम श्योर. प्लीज डोंट से डोंट डू, otherwise then name will become Dodo.
Every time
I was actually about Dodo. Is he calling himself a Dodo? Yes, dodo
It
means
slap on the face of parent and educator if we do so.
Yes, so every time we are discussing the negative impact, so why negative? Social media इतना अच्छा है, how the it improve the student engagement, how it makes the collaborative learning. हम उस तरफ से अगर बात करते हैं, so definitely we are talking about कि parents change होने चाहिए, teacher change होने चाहिए, but ultimately when the thought process comes into the mind, देखिए कैसे जो पानी है ना वो वाटर वो बॉयल होता है 100 डिग्री पे, एंड व्हाट हैपन विद द बॉयल एट 99.9 अपने लिक्विड स्टेट में. सो दैट 0.1% द थॉट कम्स इनटू द माइंड ऑफ द स्टूडेंट, जिसकी वजह से वो एंजाइटी, डिप्रेशन, वो मूड अपसेट होना है. सो वी एज ए टीचर, वी एज ए द हेड ऑफ द इंस्टीट्यूशन, वी पुट समथिंग इनटू द माइंड ऑफ द पीपल ताकि टेम्परेचर डाउन हो जाए. अभी तो पेशेंस लेवल वैसे भी कम हो गया. सो दैट थॉट प्रोसेस we add into that water so that it will decrease, otherwise 100 के बाद वो state change. So that is why we see a lot of media. Over to you, sir.
Thank you everyone for sharing this wonderful, wonderful views. I'm sure that all our listeners will be delighted. All the teachers and the principals, they will listen to this webinar. They're going to have a lot of, you can say, a lot of things to work upon, and they're going to have a lot of ideas which they can directly implement in their school and get some marvelous results. So again, on the behalf of the entire team of Inspired Valley, I thank you everyone.